Have you ever stared at your phone, heart racing, wondering why he hasn't replied? You sent a message that felt perfect, sweet, charming, even clever, and yet nothing. The silence feels deafening, right? Well, let's pause for a second. What if I told you that the problem isn't you, it's the approach? Here's the hard truth. Most messages get ignored not because you're uninteresting, but because they don't tap into the psychology of connection. Think about it. What catches your attention? Messages that spark curiosity, words that make you feel seen, admired, and even a little challenged. Men are no different. They're drawn to certain emotions and instincts that, when triggered, make it almost impossible for them to ignore you. Today, I'm going to reveal 10 powerful messages that go beyond the usual small talk and create a magnetic pull he won't be able to resist. These aren't tricks or empty strategies. They're grounded in real psychology and even Stoicism, the art of clear and intentional communication. With these messages, you'll stand out as someone unforgettable, someone worth responding to. And here's the best part. These messages work because they make him feel something. It's not about manipulation, it's about connecting in a way that resonates deeply. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of the guessing games, and ready to completely change the way you approach texting, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the first message that will set the tone for something extraordinary. 1. The curiosity teaser. Imagine this. You're scrolling through your messages and there it is, a text that stops you in your tracks. It's not just words, it's a mystery waiting to be solved. Your brain starts buzzing, trying to fill in the gaps, and you can't help but respond. That's the power of the curiosity teaser. It's designed to ignite his imagination and create an itch that only you can scratch. The best part? It's simple. Instead of sending something generic like, "Hey, what's up?" you'll write something like, "I just realized something interesting about you," and stop right there. No explanation, no follow-up, just enough to plant a seed in his mind. But why does this work so well? It's all about closure. Humans crave it. When someone starts a story and leaves it unfinished, our brains can't help but seek the ending. This isn't just psychology, it's biology. By offering him a tiny glimpse of what you're thinking, you're pulling him into your world and making him need to know more. Let's take it a step further. The real magic happens when you make it personal. Think about something unique about him. Maybe he's into fitness, music, or business. Tailor the teaser to that. For example, "I noticed something that only serious gym goers like you would understand." Now, he's intrigued, not only by what you've said, but by the fact that it's about him. Curiosity isn't manipulation. It's respect wrapped in intrigue. You're showing him that you're observant, playful, and interested, but you're also holding back just enough to make him come to you. And here's where Love's Stoic principles shine. Stoicism teaches us to be intentional with our words, to communicate meaningfully and purposefully. This message isn't about spilling everything. It's about inviting him to lean in. Now, a word of caution. Don't overdo it. If you send too many teasers or try too hard to be mysterious, it can backfire. Subtlety is key. Think of this as planting a seed. He'll water it with his imagination. Let's visualize the scenario. He gets your message. "I just realized something interesting about you." He pauses, rereads it, and starts wondering. Is it a compliment? A joke? A secret insight? His mind is racing. And guess what? He has to respond. He'll say something like, "What is it?" Or, "Now you've got me curious." From there, the door is wide open. You can steer the conversation towards something playful, thoughtful, or even flirtatious. For instance, you could reply, "I'll tell you," but only if you answer this first. "What's the most surprising thing you've learned about yourself recently?" Notice how this not only satisfies his curiosity but deepens the interaction. The beauty of the curiosity teaser lies in its elegance. It's a small nudge that leads to something bigger, setting the stage for meaningful connection. You're not just another notification on his phone, you're the spark of intrigue he didn't see coming. So, what are you waiting for? The next time you want his attention, ditch the predictable and try this instead. Type that teaser, press send, and let the magic unfold. Remember, it's about creating moments that make him pause and think of you. That's the kind of impact that lingers. Are you ready to try it out? Let me know in the comments how you'd craft your own curiosity teaser. And don't go anywhere, because the next message takes things to an even deeper level. 2. The anticipation builder. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly couldn't wait to find out what was next? Maybe it was a movie with a cliffhanger or a series finale that kept you up all night. That feeling, that irresistible pull of what's coming next, is exactly what we're about to create in your text conversations. Meet the anticipation builder, a message so powerful it sets the stage for excitement, intrigue, and most importantly, connection. It's not just a text, it's a doorway to a moment he'll look forward to. The secret: you give him just enough to spark his interest without giving away the full story. Picture this. You send him a message that says, "I can't wait to show you something. You're going to love it." That's it. Simple, right? But in those few words, you've planted a seed in his mind. What is it? When will she show me? Why does she think I'll love it? Suddenly, his imagination is working overtime, and you're the one holding all the answers. Now, let's break it down. Why does this work? It's all about creating a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. Humans hate the idea of missing an opportunity, especially one that feels exclusive. When you frame your message as something exciting and unique, he's drawn in. The curiosity you spark makes him eager to find out what's coming, and that eagerness keeps the conversation alive. Here's an example. Say he loves music. You could text, "I found a song that made me think of you. I'll share it with you later." You're not just sending a link, you're creating anticipation. He's intrigued not just by the song, but by the fact that it reminded you of him. It's personal, it's thoughtful, and it's impossible to ignore. But here's where the magic happens. The anticipation builder isn't just about the words, it's about how you deliver them. Keep it casual, confident, and playful. This isn't about creating suspense like a thriller, it's about making him feel excited to be part of something with you. Another pro tip, tie the anticipation to something you know he'll enjoy. If he's into adventure, you might say, "I just planned something you're going to love. Trust me, it's right up your alley." If he's more introspective, try, "I've got a story to tell you that's going to blow your mind." By aligning your message with his interests, you're not just creating excitement, you're showing that you get him. Now I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have something big planned? Don't worry, this isn't about grand gestures. The anticipation can be as small as sharing a funny meme, an interesting fact, or a moment from your day that made you think of him. The key is how you frame it. Remember, it's about making him want to be part of the experience you're creating. Imagine this scenario. You send him a text that says, "I can't wait to tell you about this crazy thing that happened today. It's so you." What have you done? You've made the conversation about him, piqued his curiosity, and given him a reason to look forward to hearing from you. This technique is so effective because it taps into a basic human desire, the need to know. When someone hints at something exciting, our brains can't help but wonder. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological principle that says we remember unfinished tasks or incomplete information better than finished ones. Your message becomes that unfinished story he can't stop thinking about. But let's be clear. This isn't about stringing him along or playing games. It's about creating genuine moments of excitement. Love Stoic principles teach us that meaningful connections come from authenticity and intention. By building anticipation, you're inviting him into a space where he feels valued, engaged, and excited to connect with you. Let's take a moment here. Do you feel the power of this approach? Can you imagine the effect it will have on him? If you're loving this idea and can't wait to try it, let me know by liking this video and commenting number 1. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into the art of irresistible messaging, hit that subscribe button and join this journey. Together, we're rewriting the rules of connection. Now, as you send that next message, remember this. Anticipation is a gift. It's a way to show him that you're thoughtful, creative, and intentional. It's not just about keeping his attention, it's about building a foundation for something more meaningful. Ready for the next message? Buckle up, because we're just getting started. The next one is all about confidence, and trust me, it's going to change the game. 3. The confidence statement. Let's talk about confidence. Not the flashy, over-the-top kind that screams, "Look at me," but the quiet, magnetic confidence that says, "I know my worth, and I don't need to prove it to anyone." That's the kind of energy that draws people in, especially men. Here's the truth. Confidence isn't about being arrogant or dismissive. It's about knowing what you bring to the table and making it clear, without a hint of desperation. When you embody that energy in your messages, it changes the dynamic completely. Suddenly, you're not just another person texting him, you're someone who commands respect and intrigue. So, how do you bring that into your texts? You send a confidence statement. Something simple but powerful, like, "I don't let just anyone take up my time, but I make exceptions for people who are worth it." Take a moment to let that sink in. What does this say about you? That you're selective, that you have high standards, and that if he's getting your attention, it's because he's earned it. This flips the script entirely. Instead of chasing his validation, you're letting him know that you value yourself, and that's incredibly attractive. Here's another example. "I'm not the kind of person who needs to play games to get attention. I value real connections." This message does 2 things. It shows that you're authentic, and it subtly challenges him to meet you at the same level. You're setting a tone that says, if we're going to talk, it's going to be meaningful. But let's dig deeper. Why does confidence have such a powerful effect? It's because confidence isn't just about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It's about leaving space for him to step up, to invest, to show that he's worth your time. When you send a message like this, you're not filling the silence with fluff or trying too hard to impress him. You're letting your words stand on their own, trusting that they'll speak volumes. Now, let me share a little secret. Men respect women who respect themselves. When you show that you're not just another text in their inbox, that you're someone who values herself and expects the same in return, it's like a wake-up call. It makes him pause and see you in a different light. Here's an example to try. "I'm picky about the people I let close, so if I'm talking to you, there's a reason." Notice how this message isn't bragging or putting him down. It's simply stating a fact. It's saying, "I'm someone worth knowing, and I choose carefully who I share my time with." This isn't about playing hard to get or pretending to be something you're not. It's about showing up as your authentic self and letting him see the confidence that radiates from within you. And here's where Stoicism comes into play. A Stoic approach to communication is all about clarity, purpose, and self-assuredness. It's about expressing yourself without attachment to the outcome, knowing that your value doesn't depend on his response. When you adopt this mindset, your messages naturally carry a different energy. They're not about seeking approval or trying to impress. They're about sharing a part of yourself with someone you find interesting. This shift is subtle, but it's powerful. Now, let's paint a picture. Imagine he receives your message. "I don't settle for surface-level conversations, that's why I like talking to you." He reads it once, then again. It's confident, it's clear, and it's flattering in a way that feels genuine. And in that moment, he realizes something. You're not like the others. This is the magic of the confidence statement. It's not just about making him notice you. It's about making him remember you. It's about creating an impression that lingers long after the conversation ends. But let's be real. Confidence isn't just about the words you use, it's about the mindset behind them. If you believe in your own worth, it shows. And if you don't, well, no amount of perfectly crafted messages can cover that up. So before you hit send, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you texting from a place of strength and self-respect? When you approach your messages with this mindset, everything changes. You're no longer chasing him. You're inviting him to step into your world, to meet you at your level. And that's what makes the confidence statement so irresistible. So the next time you pick up your phone, try this approach. Send a message that reflects your worth, your standards, and your unwavering confidence. And then watch how the energy of the conversation shifts. You're not just texting, you're setting the stage for something meaningful, something real. And that's a game he won't want to stop playing. 4. The empathy touchpoint. Let's be honest, empathy isn't something you see often in today's fast-paced, swipe-left culture. Conversations are often rushed, surface level, and transactional. But when you take the time to genuinely see someone, to recognize their struggles and acknowledge their emotions, it's like hitting a reset button on everything they thought about you. Empathy isn't just kindness, it's a superpower. And when you weave it into your messages, you're creating a connection that feels safe, warm, and completely magnetic. Imagine sending him this message. "I know things can feel overwhelming sometimes, but just remember, you don't have to do it all alone." It's simple, yet powerful. What does this message say to him? It tells him you're paying attention, that you care about his well-being, and most importantly, that you're not asking for anything in return. In a world where most people are focused on what they can get, empathy stands out like a light in the dark. Here's another example. Maybe he's mentioned a stressful week at work. You could say, "Sounds like you've been juggling a lot. I admire how strong you are about it." Notice how this message does two things. It validates his feelings and shows genuine admiration. You're not just offering empty comfort, you're recognizing his efforts and resilience. Why does this work so well? Because it's rare. Most people are quick to judge or offer unsolicited advice. But empathy says, "I hear you. I see you. I'm here for you." And trust me, when a man feels understood on this level, it leaves a lasting impression. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Empathy doesn't mean you're playing therapist. This isn't about solving his problems or diving into heavy emotional territory. Sometimes all it takes is one thoughtful message to make him feel supported. For example, if he mentions he's feeling overwhelmed, you might reply with, "That sounds like a lot. Just know I'm rooting for you. You've got this." And here's the beauty of it. You're not just sending words, you're creating a space where he feels seen and valued. This is where love Stoic principles come into play. Stoicism teaches us the value of being present, of offering our support without expecting anything in return. By embodying this in your messages, you're showing him that your connection goes beyond the superficial. Let's take a moment to visualize this. Imagine he's had a rough day and he gets your text. "I know you've been handling a lot lately, and I just want you to know I see how hard you're working. You're doing amazing. What do you think happens next?" He pauses. He rereads it. And in that moment, he feels something rare, appreciated and understood. This isn't just about making him feel good. It's about building trust. When someone feels safe to be themselves with you, It strengthens the bond between you. It says, you can lean on me when you need to without saying it outright. But here's the secret. Empathy works best when it's authentic. You can't fake it. If your message comes across as insincere or overly calculated, it'll fall flat. So before you send that text, take a moment to genuinely consider how he might be feeling. What would you want to hear in his shoes? Empathy is about more than words. It's about intention. And when you approach your messages with genuine care, they carry a weight that's impossible to ignore. Now, let me ask you this. How often do you take the time to send a message like this? How often do you go beyond the usual "how's your day" and actually show that you're paying attention? If you're feeling inspired to bring more empathy into your conversations, let me know by liking this video and commenting number 1. And if you're ready to level up your connection skills even further, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're diving into the art of communication in ways that will transform your relationships, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. As you take this step, remember this. Empathy isn't a tactic, it's a gift. It's about being present, intentional, and genuine. When you send that next message, don't just aim for a reply, aim to make him feel seen. Because in a world full of distractions, that's the kind of connection that truly stands out. 5. The thought-provoking question. Let's shift gears for a moment. When was the last time a single question stopped you in your tracks? A question so unexpected, so deep, that it made you pause and think, not just about the answer but about yourself. That's the power of the thought-provoking question, a text designed to create a meaningful connection by going far beyond the surface. Imagine this. Instead of sending another casual, "How was your day?" you write, "If you could relive one moment in your life, which one would it be?" Suddenly, the energy of your conversation changes. This isn't small talk. It's an invitation for him to share a part of his world with you, to open a door to his thoughts and feelings. Why does this work so well? Because most people are stuck in the cycle of predictable questions. What's up? How's work? These are fine, but they don't make an impact. A thought-provoking question breaks that cycle. It shows that you're curious about who he is, not just what he's doing. It tells him, "I see you as someone worth knowing on a deeper level." Let's explore a few examples. One classic question that resonates is, what's one thing you've always wanted to do but never had the chance? This not only gets him thinking about his dreams and goals, but also shows that you're interested in what truly matters to him. You're not just asking for a reply, you're sparking a meaningful moment of self-reflection. Another approach could be, if you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be and why? This question is playful yet introspective. It invites him to share his preferences, his sense of adventure, or even his hidden aspirations. And as he answers, you're building a mental image of who he is and what excites him. But the key to the thought-provoking question is its subtle brilliance. It's not intrusive. It doesn't pry into his past or push him to reveal something too personal. Instead, it's an open invitation. He can answer with as much or as little detail as he feels comfortable, and either way, the conversation moves into a space that's engaging and memorable. Let's dig deeper into why this works. At its core, this technique taps into a universal human desire, the need to be understood. When you ask a question that requires thought, you're telling him, "I want to know the real you." That's rare. In a world full of surface-level interactions, someone who genuinely seeks to understand stands out. And here's where Love Stoic principles shine. Stoicism teaches us to focus on meaningful actions and words, to connect with others through intention rather than impulse. A question like this embodies those principles. It's intentional, thoughtful, and creates a space for authentic dialogue. Let's picture the scene. He gets your message. If you could change one thing about the past year, what would it be? He pauses, rereads it. and starts to think. This isn't a question he can answer in one word. It invites him to reflect, to consider, and to share something real. And as he types his reply, the connection between you deepens. Here's another example to try. If money and time weren't an issue, what's one thing you'd spend your life doing? This isn't just about uncovering his passions, it's about creating a moment of excitement and imagination. You're not just asking him a question, you're giving him a space to dream. But here's the magic of the thought-provoking question. It's not just about his answer. It's about the ripple effect it creates. When someone opens up, even in small ways, it fosters trust and connection. And trust me, that's something he won't forget. Now, let's talk timing. When should you send a thought-provoking question? The best moments are when the conversation feels stagnant, or when you want to transition to a deeper level of connection. These questions act as a bridge, moving you both from casual banter to something more meaningful. But here's the most important tip. Stay present. When he answers, listen. Really listen. Engage with his response. Ask follow-up questions, and show that you value what he's sharing. This isn't about collecting answers, it's about building a dialogue that matters. So, the next time you're stuck wondering what to text, skip the clichés. Instead, send a question that sparks curiosity, introspection, and connection. Because when you show that you care about his thoughts, dreams, and feelings, you're not just texting, you're creating a bond that lingers. And as you dive into this approach, remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being real. Because when you ask the right questions, you're not just starting a conversation, you're starting something extraordinary. 6. The unique compliment. Let's be real, how many times have you heard the same old, tired compliments? You're beautiful. You look amazing. Sure, they're nice, but they're also easy. They don't require effort or thought. Now flip the script. How would it feel if someone genuinely noticed something about you, your mind, your passion, your humor, and took the time to say it out loud? That's the power of the unique compliment. It goes beyond the surface and strikes us at the heart of what makes someone feel truly seen and appreciated. And when you send this kind of message to him, you're doing something most people don't. You're showing that you've been paying attention and that he's worth noticing. Here's the golden rule. A unique compliment isn't generic. It's not a cookie-cutter phrase you'd send to anyone. It's specific, thoughtful, and personal. For example, instead of saying, "You're smart," try something like, "I really admire how you can take something complex and explain it so clearly. It's rare to meet someone with that kind of talent." See the difference? One is vague, the other shows genuine observation. Let's break it down. Why does this work so well? Because people crave to be recognized for who they are, not just how they look. In a world dominated by superficial comments and fleeting interactions, a compliment that highlights someone's unique qualities feels like a breath of fresh air. It's a reminder that they're more than what's on the surface. Imagine sending him this: "I really respect the way you light up when you talk about your goals. It's inspiring, it makes me want to chase my own dreams even harder. Can you feel the impact of those words?" You're not just flattering him, you're validating something deeply personal. And trust me, that kind of compliment doesn't just make him smile, it stays with him. But here's the trick. For a compliment to truly land, it has to be sincere. Men can sense when you're just saying something for the sake of it. So before you send that text, take a moment to think about what you genuinely admire about him. Maybe it's his work ethic, his sense of humor, or the way he's always willing to help others. Whatever it is, make it specific. For example, if he's passionate about a hobby like photography, you might say, "I love how you see the world differently through your photos. It's like you find beauty where most people wouldn't even look." This kind of message isn't just a compliment, it's a window into how you see him, And that's powerful. Here's another angle. Compliment something he might not expect. If he's known for being logical and analytical, point out his creativity instead. If he's usually confident, acknowledge his kindness or vulnerability. These unexpected compliments catch him off guard in the best way possible. Let's talk about the psychology behind this. A unique compliment works because it speaks directly to someone's identity. It says, "I see you. I value you. You're worth noticing." And when someone feels seen, they're drawn to the person who saw them. This is where love Stoic principles come into play. Being intentional and present in your interactions allows you to notice these deeper qualities in others. Now, imagine the effect this has on him. He gets your message and stops for a moment. Maybe he rereads it, feeling a little lighter, a little more appreciated. Why? Because you didn't just see him, you made the effort to acknowledge what makes him special. And in doing so, you've set yourself apart from everyone else in his life. Here's an example to try. I don't know if you realize this, but your sense of humor is incredible. It's not just funny, it's smart. You have a way of making people laugh and think at the same time. This message works because it's thoughtful, specific, and deeply personal. It's not something he hears every day, and that's what makes it unforgettable. But let's be clear. The goal of a unique compliment isn't to impress him or make him like you more. It's about building a genuine connection. When you focus on authenticity, the words naturally carry more weight. They come from a place of sincerity, and that's something no one can resist. Now, let's make it interactive. If you're loving the idea of using unique compliments to deepen your connections, let me know by liking this video and commenting number 1. I'd also love to hear your favorite compliment ideas in the comments. Let's inspire each other. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips that will completely transform the way you approach relationships. Together, we're creating a space for deeper, more meaningful connections, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. So, the next time you think about sending a compliment, go deeper. Look beyond the obvious. Find that one thing about him that makes him unique, and let him know you see it. Because when you send a message that makes someone feel valued for who truly are, you're not just texting, you're leaving an impression that lasts. And the best part, this is only the beginning. Stay tuned, because the next message is going to bring back some beautiful memories and create a bond you'll never forget. 7. The shared memory reminder. They think about the last time you were swept away by a wave of nostalgia. Maybe it was a song that instantly transported you to a cherished moment, or a scent that reminded you of a special place. That feeling, the warmth, the connection, the sudden rush of emotion, is exactly what the shared memory reminder is designed to evoke in your conversations. Here's the thing about shared memories. They're anchors. They root people in a specific time and place, creating an emotional bond that's hard to break. When you bring up a moment you both shared, you're not just reminiscing, you're rekindling the feelings that came with it. Let's say you've had a late-night conversation where you both opened up about your dreams. You could send him a message like, "Remember that night we stayed up talking about where we'd be in 5 years? That was one of my favorite conversations. I still think about it." What does this do? It pulls him back into that moment, reminding him of how close you felt and the connection you built. The beauty of this message lies in its simplicity. It's not asking for anything. It's not overly sentimental. It's just a gentle nudge toward a shared experience, one that likely holds as much meaning for him as it does for you. But why is this so effective? It's all about the emotional triggers tied to memory. Nostalgia is a powerful psychological driver. It makes people feel safe, valued, and connected. When you reference a positive moment you shared, you're not just reminding him of the memory, you're reminding him of how he felt about you in that moment. Here's another example. Let's say you once laughed uncontrollably over something silly. You could text him, "I just thought about that time we couldn't stop laughing at insert moment. I haven't laughed like that in ages. It still makes me smile." Not only does this bring up a light-hearted memory, but it also subtly reminds him of the joy you share. This works because shared experiences are personal. They're unique to the two of you, and that makes them stand out in a sea of generic conversations. You're not just someone he's talking to, you're someone he has history with, someone who knows him in ways others might not. And here's where it gets even more powerful. By bringing up a shared memory, you're signaling that you value the time you've spent together. It's not just about the moment itself, it's about what it represents: trust, connection, and the bond you've built. But remember, not all shared memories carry the same weight. To make this message truly impactful, choose a moment that resonates emotionally. It could be a time when he opened up to you, when you supported each other through a challenge, or when you simply had fun together. The key is to pick something that holds meaning for both of you. Now, let's add a layer of intrigue. Instead of spelling everything out, you can hint at the memory to draw him in. For example, "I was just thinking about that one time we talked about, insert hint. I'll never forget how real that felt." This approach not only sparks his curiosity, but also encourages him to reflect on the memory himself. This technique aligns perfectly with Love Stoic principles. Stoicism emphasizes being intentional with your words and actions, and referencing shared memories is a deliberate way to strengthen your connection. It shows that you're not just living in the moment, you're valuing the journey you've shared. Let's take a moment to picture the effect. He reads your message, and instantly he's transported back to that memory. Maybe he smiles, maybe he feels a sense of warmth, or maybe he starts thinking about all the moments he's shared with you. Either way, you've created an emotional ripple that deepens your bond. And here's the best part. This isn't just about looking back, it's about laying the foundation for future memories. When you remind him of how meaningful your connection has been, you're subtly inviting him to create more moments with you. So, the next time you want to spark a meaningful conversation, think back to a moment that mattered to both of you. Bring it up with warmth, sincerity, and a touch of nostalgia. Because when you remind someone of the joy and connection you've shared, you're not just texting, you're building something timeless. And trust me, the next message we'll explore is all about adding value in a way that will leave an even deeper impression. Stay with me, you won't want to miss what's next. 8. The knowledge share. Let's get straight to the point. How often do your conversations feel truly meaningful? In a world where most texts revolve around "what's up?" and "how was your day?" standing out is easier than you think. All you need is a little substance. That's where the knowledge share comes in. Imagine this. Instead of asking another generic question, you send a message that makes him pause, think, and maybe even smile. Something like, "Did you know that certain scents can trigger specific memories? It's probably why I always think of insert place when I smell coffee. What does this do?" It sparks curiosity, adds depth to your conversation, and makes you unforgettable. The beauty of this approach lies in its subtlety. You're not showing off or trying to impress him with random facts. You're sharing something genuinely interesting and relatable. It's like handing him a little piece of insight, wrapped in thoughtfulness. And trust me, that kind of message lingers in his mind far longer than a simple "hey." Here's the magic of the knowledge share. It positions you as someone who brings value to his life. Think about it. How often do people send messages that are insightful, intriguing, or even inspiring? Rarely. Most texts are surface levels, designed to pass time rather than make an impact. By sharing something new, you're breaking the monotony and giving him a reason to look forward to your conversations. Let's break it down with an example. Say he's into fitness. You might text, "I read this article about how stretching before bed can improve your sleep. It made me think of how dedicated you are to your health." Not only are you sharing useful information, but you're also tying it back to something he values about himself. That personal touch makes all the difference. But why does this work? It taps into the psychology of curiosity. When you present someone with a piece of knowledge they didn't have before, it creates a moment of intrigue. It's like opening a door to a new perspective, and that kind of intellectual stimulation is magnetic. Another layer to this technique is relevance. To truly make an impact, the knowledge you share should connect to his interests or experiences. If he's a foodie, you could say, "I just learned that spicy food releases endorphins. That's probably why we crave it when we're stressed." If he's into technology, try, "Did you know that the first computer programmer was a woman? Her name was Ada Lovelace, such a cool story." What you're doing here is twofold, showing that you're thoughtful enough to tailor your messages to him and positioning yourself as someone who's engaged with the world around you. It's a balance of personal and intellectual appeal, and it works like magic. Let's take this a step further. Imagine sending him a message like, "I read somewhere that the happiest people are the ones who prioritize experiences over things. What's one experience you've always wanted to have?" Notice how this not only shares an interesting idea, but also invites him into a deeper conversation. It's no longer just about the fact, it's about the connection you're building through it. This is where love Stoic principles come into play. Stoicism teaches us to approach communication with clarity and purpose, to add value to others' lives with our words and actions. By sharing knowledge, you're doing exactly that. You're enriching his day, sparking his curiosity, and deepening your connection. But here's a little secret. The knowledge you share doesn't have to be groundbreaking. Sometimes, the simplest insights can be the most impactful. It's not about how profound the information is, it's about the thoughtfulness behind sharing it. Now, let's set the scene. He gets your message. Did you know the color blue is scientifically proven to make people feel calmer? It's why so many social media apps use it. It's all about keeping us scrolling. He pauses, reads it again, and maybe even Googles it. In that moment, you've done something no one else has. You've made him think, and you've stood out. If this idea is resonating with you, let me know by liking this video and commenting number 1. And if you're loving these deeper, more intentional ways to connect, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a tip that could transform your conversations. The best part? This isn't just about impressing him, it's about creating moments that matter. When you share knowledge, you're not just texting, you're building a foundation of curiosity, respect, and shared discovery. And trust me, we're not done yet. The next message is all about creating a sense of urgency and excitement that will have him clearing his calendar for you. Stay tuned, you're going to love what's next. 9. The can't miss invite. Let's talk about excitement, the kind that pulls someone in, makes their pulse quicken, and gets them wondering, what could this be? When you invite a man to share an experience with you, it's not just about the event itself. It's about the way you frame it, the anticipation you create, the exclusivity you suggest, and the irresistible sense of urgency you weave into your words. That's the magic of the can't miss invite. Imagine receiving a message like this. "I've got something awesome planned for this Friday, and trust me, you don't want to miss it." It's confident, intriguing, and leaves just enough unsaid to make him curious. You're not just inviting him to join you, you're creating a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. That's impossible to ignore. But why does this approach work so well? Because it flips the script. Instead of asking for his time, you're offering him an experience. You're inviting him into your world, where exciting things are happening, and he gets to be a part of it. That's a game changer. Here's an example. Say you've discovered a new restaurant you've been dying to try. Instead of asking, "Do you want to go to this new place with me?" you could say, there's this spot I've been waiting to check out, and I think you'll love it. Let's make it happen this weekend. Notice the difference. The first is a question, the second is an invitation. It's confident, decisive, and exciting, all traits that are magnetic in any connection. The key to making the can't-miss invite truly irresistible is the way you frame it. It's not about revealing every detail up front. It's about giving just enough to spark his curiosity. For example, I've got a surprise planned for Saturday. It's going to be epic. You're in, right? With this approach, you're setting the stage for him to wonder and look forward to what's coming next. But let's get real. What if you don't have a grand plan? Don't worry, it's not about extravagance. The invite can be as simple as grabbing coffee at a unique spot, going for a walk in a scenic park, or watching a movie you've both been talking about. The secret lies in how you present it. Let's take a more casual example. I just thought of the perfect way to unwind this weekend. It's low-key, fun, and totally us. You in? This message works because it feels personal and intentional. It's not just about the activity, it's about sharing a moment together, one that feels special and curated. This approach aligns beautifully with Stoicism. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to live with intention and clarity, to create meaning in the moments we share with others. By crafting an invitation with thoughtfulness and purpose, you're embodying these principles and offering him something more than just an activity. You're offering connection. Here's another tip. Include a hint of exclusivity. For example, I just found something that's so your vibe, it's not for everyone, but I think you'll love it. Let's check it out. By framing the invite as something unique to him, you're making him feel seen and valued. And who doesn't want to feel like they're in on something special? Let's imagine how this plays out. He gets your message. There's this event I've been eyeing, and I know you'd totally appreciate it. Let's go, it's happening Friday. He reads it, pauses, and starts picturing the possibilities. He's not just considering the event itself, he's thinking about the time you'll spend together, the excitement you're bringing, and the energy you've created around the invite. But here's the real magic. The can't-miss invite isn't just about getting him to say yes. It's about setting a tone for your interactions. It says, I'm someone who creates moments worth experiencing, and I want to share them with you. That's the kind of energy that doesn't just attract, it captivates. Now, let's circle back to the idea of exclusivity. When you position the invite as something tailored to his interests or personality, it adds an extra layer of appeal. For instance, if he's into music, you might say, there's this live band playing at venue on Friday. It's totally your style. Let's make it a night to remember. Suddenly, it's not just an invite, it's a personal experience crafted with him in mind. The power of the can't-miss invite lies in its ability to blend excitement with intention. You're not just asking him to hang out, you're offering him an opportunity to connect, to share a moment, and to step into a space where something meaningful can unfold. So, the next time you're thinking about reaching out, remember this. It's not about the size of the plan, it's about the way you invite him into it. Make it exciting, make it personal, and most importantly, make it unforgettable. Because when you craft an invitation that feels like an opportunity rather than a request, you're not just asking for his time, you're creating something he truly won't want to miss. And trust me, the final message in this series is all about sealing the connection in a way that's powerful, heartfelt, and unforgettable. Let's keep this momentum going. 10. The Stoic Appreciation Message. Let's end this with a message that is as simple as it is powerful. In a world filled with superficial interactions, there's one thing that cuts through all the noise: genuine appreciation. Enter the Stoic Appreciation Message, a text that leaves no room for doubt about how much you value him, not for what he does, but for who he is. Imagine this. He's scrolling through his messages, expecting the usual casual banter. Then he sees something from you that stops him in his tracks. "I just wanted to say I really value having someone like you in my life. You're rare, and I appreciate you." Take a moment to consider what that would feel like if you were on the receiving end. It's not flirty, it's not playful, it's heartfelt. It's a message that says, "I see you, I recognize your worth, and I'm not afraid to let you know." That kind of authenticity, it's unforgettable. But why is appreciation so impactful? Because most people don't take the time to express it. They assume the other person already knows how they feel or worry about coming across as overly emotional. Yet, when you send a message like this, it doesn't make you vulnerable, it makes you powerful. Here's another example. You have this way of making things feel calm and easy, even when life gets hectic. I really admire that about you. What you're doing here is twofold: highlighting a unique quality he has and connecting it to how it makes you feel. This isn't just flattery, it's a recognition of his character. The key to the Stoic appreciation message is sincerity. It's not about overloading him with compliments or trying to win his favor. It's about taking a moment to acknowledge something meaningful. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity and clarity, core principles of Stoicism. Let's dive deeper. When you express appreciation, you're doing more than making him feel good. You're creating an emotional anchor. He'll associate that feeling of being valued with you. And in a world where most interactions are fleeting and shallow, this kind of depth is rare and magnetic. But here's the thing. Appreciation isn't about grand gestures or elaborate words. It's about honesty. It could be as straightforward as, "I really respect how you always keep your word. It's something I value a lot." Or as heartfelt as, "I don't think I say this enough, but I feel lucky to know someone as genuine as you." When he reads that message, he won't just feel appreciated, he'll feel seen. And that's what makes this message so powerful. It's not about trying to impress him or make him like you more. It's about showing that you notice and value him for who he is. Now, let's talk about timing. When should you send the Stoic appreciation message? The best moments are often the quiet ones, when things are going well, and there's no specific reason to reach out. That's what makes it unexpected and special. It's not tied to a holiday, a milestone, or an achievement. It's just you taking the time to acknowledge him. For instance, you might send it after a great conversation saying something like, "I always feel like I can be myself around you, and that means a lot to me. Thank you for that." Or maybe after he's supported you through a tough moment. I don't take your kindness for granted. It's rare to meet someone who's so thoughtful. Let's be real. This kind of message can feel a little vulnerable to send. But here's the truth. Authenticity is the ultimate strength. When you show up with honesty and gratitude, it sets you apart in the best possible way. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. Picture the effect. He reads your message and pauses. Maybe he smiles. Maybe he feels a warmth he wasn't expecting. But one thing's for sure. He won't forget it. Why? Because you've done something most people don't. You've taken the time to truly value him. If this resonates with you, let me know by liking this video and commenting number 1. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips that help you create meaningful, lasting connections. Together, we're building a community rooted in intention, authenticity, and self-discovery. Here's the final takeaway. Appreciation isn't just a gesture, it's a bridge. It connects you to the people who matter most in a way that feels genuine and lasting. When you send the Stoic appreciation message, you're not just texting, you're creating a moment that says, "You matter to me, and I don't take that for granted." So go ahead, send that message today. Let him know he's valued, and watch how it deepens your bond. Because in a world where words are often thrown around carelessly, a little bit of gratitude can go a long way. Congratulations, you've just unlocked the secrets to crafting messages that don't just get a reply but create unforgettable connections. These 10 powerful texts are more than just words. They're tools for building intrigue, sparking curiosity, showcasing confidence, and deepening emotional bonds. With each one, you're not just communicating, you're leaving an impression that lasts. Think about it. How often do we settle for the ordinary? How often do we let opportunities slip by because we're too afraid to step outside the box? These messages challenge that. They invite you to embrace authenticity, intentionality, and yes, a little bit of playful mystery. You're not chasing attention, you're creating moments that matter. And here's the best part. These messages aren't about manipulation or games. They're about becoming the best version of yourself. When you lead with confidence, empathy, and sincerity, you're not just attracting him, you're creating a connection built on respect and real value. As you start using these techniques, remember this. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up as your authentic self and letting your words reflect that. Whether it's a curiosity teaser, a thoughtful compliment, or a heartfelt appreciation message, every text is an opportunity to build something meaningful. So now it's your turn. Which message are you most excited to try first? Have you ever used a technique like this before? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories and experiences. And if you found value in this guide, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you're joining a community that's all about mastering the art of connection with intention and authenticity. Thank you for spending your time here, for investing in yourself, and for being open to new ways of creating meaningful relationships. Here's to more magnetic conversations, deeper connections, and unforgettable moments. Until next time, keep shining, keep connecting, and remember, you've got everything it takes to be truly unforgettable. See you in the next video.